Good evening, friends. Welcome to Dozen Cats Wellness Trail. It is Monday night. It is 8 p.m. We are doing the second episode of Turning Over a New Leaf. So thank you for joining us. Hi, MK Karen. How are you doing, my friend? Long time no see. It's good to have you in the chat. What is happening in your neck of the woods, my friend? It is cool here, friends. Cool. Over the weekend, it dropped to like 11 degrees Celsius, which is like, 50 some odd. And like almost time to turn the furnace on. But we are in for a heat wave because for the next week, it'll be, 27, 29, feeling like 33, 35. So like 90s, hundreds. The weather is up and down like a toilet seat, my friends. Well, I am happy to see you, my friend, and I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. I don't know what's going on with my internet. My signal keeps bouncing up and down, so if I glitch out, I apologize. The powers that be, right? So, friends, welcome back to Dozen Cats Wellness Trail. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to let a few more people roll in. Hopefully more people are going to roll in, and then we're going to get started. Tonight we are doing the second part of our Turning Over a New Leaf series, which is a 4-part series, and we're on part 2 tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking about inspired action. What is it? How do we do it? What does it mean? How can we bring it about to encourage change and growth and all of those good, great, wonderful, awesome things. So, and then we're just going to talk for a little bit, and then we'll do some readings, inspired action readings, that is. If you have not seen part 1, that was last Monday, and last Monday was about building our arc, right? Turning over a new page is actually a saying from the 16th century referring to turning over a new page of paper. So we sort of took the approach of being the author of our own books, and we are creating ourselves as the main character, and the main character has arcs that the author will create, which puts challenges and obstacles in a main character's way, and then we follow the journey as to how they navigate that. So we did some readings on our own arcs. It was fascinating, and I encouraged everyone to try to journal about it or think about some arcs that they have had in their life, and what things that they have done previously that they could bring those lessons forward and help them in the future navigate that path. Now, the important part about that was that it was also a new moon, so it was a great night to set intentions, for the future. So, friends, here we are. I have a plethora of cards in front of me, and when we get to the reading part, I'm going to get you to choose your own cards. So, I don't see anybody on the chat other than MK Karen. It looks like there's just a couple people watching, so I know that the debate is getting ready to start. I, for one, am not going to watch that. I will catch the highlights later on YouTube. So, hi Fatima, how are you doing, my friend? MK Karen says not much, honestly, pretty stagnant, honestly, trying to find a home and feeling so hopeless, but other than that, all is well with my family. Well, never feel hopeless, my friend. Never feel hopeless. Hopefully, we do a reading for you tonight, and that helps. So, what is the meaning of inspired action? I say it all of the time on the channel, and I don't know if people know what I'm talking about when I say it. So, I hope tonight that we can sort of clear that up or expand on some of the things that you do to take inspired action, right? So, inspired action refers to taking action that is motivated by a deep sense of purpose, passion, or inspiration. It is an action that is not driven by external pressures or obligations, but rather by your desire to create, to contribute, or to achieve something meaningful to you. And I love that. So, in other words, you go to the store and you gravitate towards, the bedding department because you feel like you want to give your bedroom a makeover, for example. You want to get new sheets, new blankets, new pillows, buy a rug, get some flowers, maybe put up a new picture. You want to create an environment, a mood, a feeling, an atmosphere that draws you in, that makes you either relax, that makes you want to sleep, right? That's what inspired action is. As opposed to, I don't get enough sleep, I'm dragging my butt, oh my gosh, I need to go to bed earlier. You know what I mean? Because that seems very negative. So do you get the difference? So action versus inspired action. What is it? What's the difference? The difference is taking massive action and taking inspired action. Sorry, I said that wrong. Taking inspired action is how you feel, right? When inspiration comes, there's no question as to how you may feel about it. Inspiration is a feeling. When we just take action, it is usually propelled by something else. So, for example, I have to go to work today. I'm running late. I need to eat my breakfast. Those are all things that I'm doing, not because I want to necessarily, but because I have to do them, right? So it almost feels like the choice is gone. Hi, Mary. The difference, sorry, I have this big page of notes and I'm trying to move it around the screen so that I can still see you guys and not lose my place. So I can't see myself, but that's okay. So what inspires you to take action? It could be a personal challenge or a goal that you've set for yourself. Perhaps a friend or a family member has initiated this reason to want to take change or to make change happen. Could be just a simple desire of yours that you want to help yourself or help someone else. So let's say maybe you volunteer at an animal shelter, or maybe you volunteer to go clean up at the park or to plant seeds in the park, right? That's your way of taking action to help towards, climate change and, reinvesting in the environment, right? And what I love about this whole thing of inspired action is, for me, so just as an example, in case no one is kind of getting what I'm saying, you guys know how many times I say on the channel about how I love to create things and how I feel that when you channel your energy into a creative pursuit or endeavor, a creative project, that it is a great way to express your emotions, right? So I feel like I'm doing two things at once, even though I'm not. I'm really only doing the one thing. The difference is because I want to do that thing. I would much prefer to look at something from a creative standpoint and bring something to life. Something that I can be inspired by, something that I can be motivated by, something that I can look forward to, something that I can see other things coming from or stemming from or growing from, something that I can feel a sense of achievement and be proud of, right? My self-confidence is up, my self-esteem is up, all of those kinds of things. The point that I'm trying to make is that you feel good about it, and when you feel good, your happiness, your positivity, your energy raises, and therefore the negativity, the sadness, the upset, the whatever it is that was once your focus is now not the focus, right? And to me, that's like a baby step of inspired action. So I love this part. We're getting to the readings very, very soon, friends. So how do you know when to take inspired action? Like, when is the right time to take inspired action? I thought that this was so neat. You have a formula here. Okay, so the formula is alignment, inspiration, and then the action. Now, if you notice, it's not the action leading to the alignment or the action leading to the inspiration. It's the inspiration that is propelling this whole thing once you are in alignment. So in other words, once you know what you want, what you desire, what you need, what you wish for, then you can take inspired action, right? And just to quickly sum all of this up, taking inspired action steps. This means taking action that feels good and is aligned with our desires, right? Rather than forcing ourselves to take action out of fear or obligation, right? We can all do this by setting small, achievable goals, by listening to our intuition, and being open to unexpected opportunities. So to summarize, in a really, really, really short, sweet, lovely sentence, inspired action is the type of task that gets you lit up, gets you fired up, ignites your passion, gets you excited. And that, my friends, is inspired action. And inspired action can lead to beautiful things, beautiful results, beautiful results. So that concludes the whole me talking portion of tonight, which I'm impressed I did that in 14 minutes, friends. Yay me. So we're going to do some readings. We're going to use that formula that I talked about, the alignment, the inspiration, and the action. So just 3 cards. I have a bunch of cards on my table, right? I have some nature cards. I have some animal cards. I have some angel spirit kind of cards. I also have the color cards. I'm not going to tell you where they are. I want you to tell me, number 1, if you want a reading, and then I want you to tell me what number of cards you want. So either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Okay. So yes, I want a reading. I want, pile number 1. I want pile number 4, and I want pile number 8, like that kind of thing, right? You don't have to put the word pile in there, by the way. I just realized I forgot a deck that I pulled out. So yes, I want a reading, and then the numbers for the cards. So you guys are really using your intuition to pull out your own cards, and then Spirit, hopefully, is going to help us, help you, help me, give you what you need so that you might be able to take an inspired action plan, right? Or make it an inspired action plan. Okay. All right, so MK Karen, pile number 4 stuck out for you. Awesome, love it. I got you, Mary. I do want to mention really quick while I'm here, if you guys have not seen the wellness reading that I'm doing, comes out every Saturday, so go check that out. The Sunday Oracle message comes out every Sunday, and those two readings both seem to align with tonight's episode or part in the series or whatever you want to call it, which I just thought was interesting. So if you want to know more about it or try to figure out, what does it all mean, do watch those. And also, I will be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern for another live. All right, here we go. For MK Karen. Whoa. You got some serious flyers, MK Karen. So one came out. There's all three of them. Okay. So let's see what we got here. I love this for you. Now, so remember that this is what it is, right? Alignment, inspiration, and action. So your alignment, time to heal. That means that you're aware of how you feel. Right? You are signifying to yourself, you are listening to your inner wisdom, your guidance that, like, I want to put this behind me. I want to release. I want to move forward. I want to let it go, right? I'm ready for the next phase, the next chapter, the new possibilities, which is phenomenal, first and foremost. So congratulations on just arriving at that moment. The inspiration, like, I have total chills. This is so beautiful for you, MK Karen. It's beautiful for anyone. And by the way, look at that, 5-5. That's time for change, right? 5 is change, friends. 5 is change. Next card we have is the Nightingale Spirit, which is love is all around. So your inspiration comes from joy. It comes from blessings. It comes from kindness. It comes from empathy. It comes from compassion. It comes from blessings and gratitude, appreciation, right? There are so many good things all around you that you are tapping into that. And that is taking sort of the front seat, if you will, to whatever you could be carrying. Right? Whatever could be weighing you down. Hi, Ellen. Never late, my friend. Right on time. We have the Hawk Spirit, and let Spirit be your guide for action. Let Spirit be your guide. Let Spirit be your guide. In other words, using your intuition. If it feels right, you go with it. If it doesn't, it does not go any further, right? So you're going to pay attention to signs and synchronicities and your dreams. You're going to meditate and create that clear thinking space where you can communicate with spirit, right? You're going to feel what you're doing in the moment to see if it feels good, if it feels right. What's the vibe? What are my spidey senses telling me in this moment? Is this good? Is this right? Do I continue? Do I, step to the left? Do I step to the right? I mean, that is an amazing inspired action formula, right? Because you have done the work and you know that it's time to heal. You now know that you are ready. That is your alignment. You are ready, right? Your inspiration comes from the love all around. So imagine, if you will, and I'm not saying that this is you, MK Karen, I'm just using this as an example, because honestly, I couldn't have picked these cards any better if I was trying to explain what inspired action is. Love is all around, right? It's like I'm standing on the inside of my house. I've opened up the drapes and I'm looking out the window, and all around me I see all this joy, all this love, all this excitement, opportunity, possibility, all of these things. But I can't get there because I'm on the inside of the house. I need to step outside to be able to touch these things, experience these things, feel these things, just be in their presence, right? Well, how am I going to do that? I'm going to ask Spirit to embrace me and to guide me. So I've got to trust my connection, my intuition, my inner wisdom, and let Spirit take me by the hand wherever they think I need to be. This is like an inspired action plan of feeling, right? And hope. And I love that for you, MK Karen. I love that for anyone. Like, if no one's going to listen to any other part of this video, that's it right there. I honestly couldn't have done that better. Meaning if I had picked an example, like 3 cards, I couldn't have done that better. That's phenomenal. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm excited for you, MK Karen. Okay. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you very much, and I thank you for saying that. All right, so here we go, friends. Let's just say hi to a couple people here that have popped in. Ellen has come in, and Joan B has come in. Good to see everybody. Gina's Place has come in. And my husband is there. Kelmar Garage. That's my husband, everybody, by the way. So what we're talking about tonight, friends, is inspired action. And I talked for about 14 minutes at the beginning of the video about how we take inspired action. What does inspired action mean? How do we create it? How do we bring it forward? And all of those kinds of things. And there is a formula to inspired action. And so we're doing readings for inspired action, following that formula. The formula is, let me find it here. The formula is, it's like I need a drum roll. Okay, so this is the formula. I'm going to put it in the chat, okay? That's the formula. Okay? So alignment goes to inspiration, which then goes to action. It is something that you feel good about, something that you want to do, something that you desire to do. Okay? So if you would like a reading, I want you to do this. I want you to go yes, and then I want you to tell me a number between 1 and 8. And I will choose the cards from that pile. So we're going to tap into our intuition, and we're going to, what cards speak to us? So you know, I have my color cards, I've got nature cards, I've got like spiritual cards, I've got animal cards, I've got angel cards. Okay, so Ellen, got you. I don't want to miss anybody. So going down the list. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Greeter. How are you, my friend? Hugs back to you. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Okay. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. All right. So Donna, Gina, Fatima, and Teresa. Okay. Here we go. We're going to go with Ellen. We're going to start with Ellen. So that's the formula, right? Alignment, inspiration, action. Ellen wants number 8. Now, I was saying before, and yes, of course, I'm trying to promote my own readings, but Saturday's wellness reading and Sunday's oracle message all tied in quite nicely, I thought, to this topic, what we're doing. All right, here we go. For Ellen. Wow, these are so amazing. So amazing. Okay, so Ellen, your alignment. You picked the Angel deck. This is the Angel Quest Oracle for anyone who's interested. What a beautiful card, right? Raising your vibration. Archangel Metatron is elevating you to a higher state of consciousness. So your alignment is when you start to feel different, when you start to notice that there is a little, like, not to be, quote my own self, but when there is a little extra spring in your step, when you, and we all know those days when we wake up and it's just like everything is aligned perfectly and we're like, yes. So in other words, your alignment, you're going to recognize when that moment arrives, right? When that moment has presented itself to you, you are going to know. Perhaps it's today as the 9th day of the 9th month. Maybe this is your portal, right? What is your inspiration? You've got positive thoughts. Okay. The angels are advising you to focus on solutions instead of problems. So your inspiration is to not be looking in the rearview mirror, right? We're not looking back. We're only looking forward. I don't care what happened yesterday. I don't care what happened this morning. I am just looking ahead to tomorrow. Tomorrow is where my brain is. Tomorrow is where my thoughts are. And I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. Like that kind of vibe, right? When we do that, we're leaving the worry behind. We're leaving the guesswork. Was that okay? Did I do the right thing? Did you see, I didn't like my outfit today. Whatever of that stuff it is, right? Where we spend time nitpicking, sabotaging even possibly our choices and our decisions. If we have made that choice and we have made that decision, why would we want to unravel that? Why would we want to create all of that chaos? Do you understand what I'm saying? The last card, which is your action, is freedom. So Archangel Zadkiel is setting you free from the restrictions that you have been that have been blocking your peace, right? So activation, raising your vibrations, getting yourself up there, tuning in, and you will know when that happens. You feel like you're going to feel it. You're going to know, right? Your inspiration comes from, I want to be positive. I want to look forward. I don't want to hear this noise in the background, right? I don't want to dwell on past decisions, think about other things. I just want to focus on positivity and moving forward. And if we can bring those two things together, the action is this freedom, this feeling of inner peace, right? It's positivity to the nth degree, right? How awesome is that? I mean, seriously, that is phenomenal. So that, my friend, is for you. Hi, Gypsy JJ. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. I apologize if I have. All right, Miss Donna is up next. She would like deck number 7. And so here we go. Deck number 7. Thank you, Ellen. While I am here, while I'm shuffling Ellen's cards, I do want to say just a huge shout out to you guys, whether you're watching this now or you're watching on the replay. Thank you so much for your support. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much to Taro's Apprentice, who had me on his channel on Friday, and I got a lot of new subscribers from that. And so welcome to Dozen Cats. Welcome to the fam. Please make sure that you check your notification bell off so you know whenever new videos are uploaded or when I go live, so you don't miss out on the fun. Okay. All right. So, Donna, this is for you. So, your alignment. This deck, by the way, is called what is this deck called? Isn't that terrible? This is the Archangel Michael Sword of Light Oracle. So we have increase your knowledge. Okay, so education brings opportunities. Take a course, pick up a book, maybe find a mentor to teach you what your soul longs to know. Doing research online. So let's say that you were just cruising around the internet tonight and thought, I want to do something that helps me. I want to do something that moves me forward. I want to do something that makes me look forward. I feel like I need a change in my life. And then you happened upon this video, this live that we're doing. And we're talking about taking inspired action. By increasing your knowledge, by listening to this video and the things that I said in the beginning, the information I gave, that is increasing your knowledge. Knowledge is power. Right? That is your alignment. So if there's something that you're thinking about, something that you're interested in, get the information that you need, right? Answer your own personal questions. That comes in lots of different forms. It doesn't mean you have to take a course or you need to watch a video. Maybe it's having a conversation with someone. Maybe it's having a connection with spirit, right? Maybe it's reading back over your journal. What's been bothering you the last couple of weeks, right? But increasing your knowledge, okay? That's your alignment. Your inspiration. And I get this. Like this card speaks to me personally. Have no fear. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings holding you back. Remember what I just said. Knowledge is power. When we feel powerful, when we stand in our personal power, what happens? We are empowered, right? When we are empowered, fear doesn't stand a chance because we are in control, not the fear. When fear comes knocking on your door, you're like, sorry, I'm not interested. Bye-bye. Fear has to go away. What is the action that can come from this? To regain your focus. Okay? So, trivial, now remember, this is the card talking, not me talking. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. What that means is this. We all have a lot going on. There's a lot of chaos in the world. There's a lot of chaos in life, right? And adulting is just plain old hard sometimes. For me personally, I used to be able to handle one thing, then I could handle two things, and then I could handle three things. When it got to 4, 5, 6, and so on, I would start to crumble. I had a fear that I would not be able to handle if I got spread too thin, right? Because I have anxiety panic disorder, right? So if you're starting to feel like slightly scattered, right? If you feel the chaos, if the chaos affects you, this is why you've got these cards, right? Armor yourself with knowledge, tools and tips and things to help you succeed. be the best Donna that you can be, but put your best foot forward, right? And how are you going to bring that about? How are you going to make it so that that's a fun thing for you to do? You're going to recognize that having that knowledge is going to help keep that fear where it needs to be. Not in here, not telling you that you can't or that you shouldn't or you're no good or whatever, right? Keep it at bay. And that clearing out that clutter, stopping that noise, slowing down that hamster wheel will help you to regain your focus. When everything is exactly how it needs to be, you function better, you feel better, you're more positive. What an amazing, amazing inspired action plan for you, for anyone. You guys have heard me many times say to you that sometimes when I feel restless, right, when I feel like the walls are closing in, I will go clean off a shelf. Do not use this as an example of a cleaned off shelf, okay? But I'll go clean out my sock drawer. I'll organize my closet. My husband, all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, we need to get, bins from Amazon. We need, organization for any, like, what? Because just all of a sudden, like, that is too messy for me. When things are a mess, I feel a mess. I feel out of control. And just straightening up that closet or that shelf makes me feel more in control. Everything is orderly, and orderly I can handle. Okay. Thank you, Donna. Blessings to you. I'm sorry that you're going through with a situation. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for asking for a reading. Hello, Isadora. I see you there, my friend. How are you? How are you? Gina says, Kelly, I love your combined energy with Johnny. I have so much fun reading with Johnny. He is just a great energy to be around. I was on his channel on Friday, for those of you that didn't catch it, doing gossip reads. So that was fun. All right, Gina, you are card number 7. Here we go for you, my darling. Yeah. See, it's interesting. I don't clean. Like, you know how some people are like, like clean freaks and they clean? I don't clean. I don't mean I'm a dirty person. But cleaning is not my deal. It's organization is more my deal. And my mother was like that too, you guys. We used to like tease my mom almost, because she would literally on a Saturday morning, she would like open up the junk drawer in the kitchen. You know, that junk drawer that we all have that we all can't stand. She would open up that junk drawer and spend hours organizing it and whatever. And it was like, what? When you would open up my mom's linen cupboard, it was like sleeping with the enemy. Literally. Every towel, every blanket, face cloth was folded the exact same way, facing in the exact same direction. Sometimes it was color, organized by color. It's just the way she was. That organization, that orderly sort of vibe made her feel like she was okay. Her shoes, all kept in the shoe boxes. If you opened up her closet, all the shoe boxes were stacked with labels on it. So she, just the way she was, right? Hi, Ron. Hi, Celtics here. Good to see you guys. Okay, here we go for Gina's place. You have the Everyday Witch Oracle, one of my favorite decks. That's what they say, Mary. That is what they say, my love. All right, here we go. One more for Gina's place. There we go. We got our one more. All right. So, friends that have just popped in, we are talking about inspired action tonight. This is the second part of a 4-part series. I'll just give you a very quick, short synopsis when we're finished with Gina's place reading. And then you guys will be all caught up. But I do encourage you, when this is over, to go back to the beginning of the video and listen to like the first 13, 14 minutes so that you catch everything. All right, Gina, your alignment. I was like, your what? What is the word? Your alignment. I crack myself up, friends. Like, honestly, I crack myself up. Your alignment, Gina. I love this. I love this card. These images are so adorable, but the writing is so small. You guys have heard me say this. I complain about this all the time because I'm getting old. I can't see things as well as I used to. So this is cleansing body and spirit. Now, I don't know if maybe there's like a ritual that you need to do, or incorporating more of like a routine of a cleansing process. So, you know, grabbing onto crystals, making moon water, providing a space for yourself to meditate, or maybe to start journaling, something like that, to incorporate into like a routine, right? Or a ritual, depending on how you want to look at it. When we cleanse ourselves, we feel better overall. And when we feel better overall, I mean, what is that saying that they used to say, speaking of being clean? Cleanliness is next to godliness. Isn't that like a saying that they used to say? I sort of feel like this is just, it provides you an opportunity, right, to invite clear thinking, to really listen to yourself, to really tune in to yourself. Those kinds of rituals, those kinds of moments, right? So your alignment is when you create that moment for clear thinking. I really can, I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, so like you're sitting in the bubble bath and you're just allowing yourself, it's like, imagine when you were a kid and you laid down on the grass and you looked up at the clouds and you just tried to figure out, you know, different shapes or different things that you saw in the clouds. It's kind of like that kind of vibe I'm getting, right? So that's your alignment. When you just bring that, like everything quiet towards you, right? This is interesting because your inspiration, I don't want you to know, I've never seen this card before out of this deck. Your inspiration is hibernation and rejuvenation. So it's like the feeling that you get when you take care of yourself, right? The feeling that you get when you allow yourself to just take that moment, zen out, do something good for yourself, do something that makes you feel amazing, right? When you feel that lift, you know, when you feel that boost, as if you just put your plug in, right? And allowed yourself to charge up. That's your inspiration. And how you get there, you know, is by providing that space, that opportunity, bringing in that ritual, right? Creating that routine for yourself, right? Now look at your next card, which is the action. I love this. I don't even know what it says, but I love the picture on it. Look at all the hearts. I mean, lovely, right? So your action is, I mean, I'm going to hold this up, okay? Can you see this? Can you see that? Accept love. Do you know what that is? That's supporting yourself. That's spirit supporting you. That's the environment supporting you. That's nature supporting you, your pets, your home, right? Your environment, like whatever that is, it's supporting you. You're letting love in because you're loving yourself in that moment, right? Because you're creating that moment, that space, for yourself. So if you can, try to incorporate some sort of ritual or routine, whatever word you want to put on it, where you are going to be able to sort of create this environment where you just zen out, right? And feel good. And that goodness is going to push you into this feeling of, I feel like I went to the very best hotel or the very best spa, and I put on the most luxurious, cozy robe and slippers and face mask that you ever did see. And you're just going to give yourself a giant hug. That is your inspired action plan. I love that. Love that. Hi, Ivana. Good to see you. Hi, JR. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are talking about inspired action. So, for just a real quick recap, okay? We have a formula to inspired action. It is your alignment, which then leads to your inspiration, which then leads to your action. Inspired action is different than just taking action, because inspired action comes from what makes you feel good, something that moves you, right? It's a feeling. I really want to do this, as opposed to I have to do this because of responsibilities, because of obligations, maybe out of fear, feeling like you have no alternatives, no choices. It's different, right? And so we're using the formula to do inspired action readings. Yes, Mary, treat yourself. Exactly. Gina's placed what Mary said. Okay, so now we go to Fatima. And Fatima has picked number 3. So I have like 8 ducks on my desk. And I asked everyone to let me know and choose a number. All right, here we go for Fatima. Thanks everyone for being here. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up, hit the bell notification. I feel like a used car salesman every time I have to say all this stuff. Leaving a comment under the video really does help. So I appreciate all of your support, your continued support. Welcome to all the new subscribers. It's a good day, friends. It is a good day. All right, here we go for Miss Fatima. 3 cards, please, for your inspired action plan. Don't forget, friends, I will be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern to do some cards in chat. And then I will be back next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we will be doing part 3 in our 4-part series. And I'm not going to tell you what it's about. I'm going to keep that one a secret. But I will tell you that we might be doing a field trip. Oh! Don't tell anybody. It was supposed to be a secret. All right. Here we go, Fatima. So your alignment, I mean, honestly, I couldn't make this up if I tried. Your alignment is to center yourself. This is the Empath Empowerment deck, by the way. So we have center yourself. Take a few deep breaths to regain your center. Now you can approach life from a more mindful place. Okay? Take a few deep breaths to regain your center. I don't know why I get the feeling, I get like a mixed feeling for you, Fatima. It's either like you are sort of like a people pleaser. In other words, you continuously give and do and sort of forget about yourself. Crossed between or ... in addition to someone who's trying to do all the things for everyone ahead of anything for themselves, right? Like your to-do list is like this long kind of idea. And we need to take those moments. We need to take those moments and be like, okay, bring it back together, girlfriend. Bring it back together. So in other words, pay attention to your body, right? What's it saying to you? If you need to put a crystal in the old, bra, go for it, right? If you need to put a bag of crystals under your bed, you need to make some moon water, you need to go for a walk in nature, you need to crank up the music and dance around the living room, whatever you need to do to bring yourself back to like, whew, I can breathe again, do it, right? Do it. Your inspiration. Practice humility. Approach life humbly. No one is better than another. Keep your ego in check. Humility is the practice of being simple and valuing simple things. Now, I am in no way implying that, yeah, you don't do that, Ron, because people will talk. I'm in no way but saying that you're not humble. What I think that card refers to in your case is that right now you're on a journey where you're starting a new channel and you're, on that venture, and it's cutthroat. I don't care what anyone tells you. It can be lovely. It can be wonderful. It can be a glorious journey, but it is cutthroat. And navigating, starting a channel and putting yourself out there, whether you're part of a community or you're not, can be really, really hard on the internet, right? So pay attention to how you feel while you do that. You do not have to throw yourself out there in a way that doesn't speak to you in order for you to be appreciated or recognized or seen or heard, right? Your gifts, your connection, your person, your voice, what you have to say, what you bring to the table, your sense of humor, all of those things will go out to the people that need to hear them, that need to come to you, that will be brought to you, all in a path of time that we are not in control of, right? In other words, when we start our journey here, like let's say we're creating this channel on YouTube, when we start this journey, there's no reason to think that you're going to be good or you're not going to be good. There's no reason to think that you're going to have 500,000 subscribers or you're not going to have 500,000 subscribers, because we don't know. This is all a new thing, right? It's a new journey. As you navigate this journey, your expectations go like this, literally, and it's hard to navigate at times. And let's face it, friends, we are awesome people here. We are a wonderful community and a wonderful feeling of love and support and encouragement, but the internet can be very toxic. And so sometimes we need to remove ourselves and remind ourselves of the reasons why I'm doing this, right? Why am I here? Why do I feel that this is my spot? Why is this the thing that I chose to do, right? Set boundaries for yourself so that you can do what you feel you need to do in the way that is best for you, but not get muddied up with that less than positive energy, right? That's what I think this means, right? In other words, in a short form, you don't have to put a sticker on your forehead and say, I am an awesome person. I am a people pleaser. Say anything to me and I'll take it. Like, you don't know. That's not what this is, right? And a lot of people, when they're starting this journey, myself included, like, we throw ourselves at it because that's what we think we're supposed to do. It's important to have boundaries. It's important to make sure that you're, centering yourself, keeping yourself on that solid foundation so that you can consistently bring to the table what you intended to bring to the table, right? Your whole reason for starting a channel. Okay, so now your action is forgive yourself. Don't become a hostage to the past by berating yourself for your choices. Make amends, forgive your own shortcomings, and keep moving forward in a beautiful future. I think that this speaks to a variety of things. Choices and decisions, big, small, in between. We cannot focus on what's in the rearview mirror, right? Because it's distracting. We're supposed to be looking this way. If we're looking this way, we're going to crash. We're going to walk into a wall. We're going to hit something and have a big old egg on our forehead, right? It doesn't mean that you can't, review something from back there, right? And bring that lesson forward to help us, right? Learn from it, but don't live back there. And I'm not saying that you do. It's a reminder not to beat yourself up for choices and decisions that you made, not to have regrets, because whatever path you took, whatever steps you made brought you to this point. And if this is a good point, then it was all for that reason, right? Hopefully that makes sense, what I am saying there. Lots of talk in the chat. I'm sorry I'm missing most of it. I do apologize. Isadora, hello, my friend. I hope I said hi to you before. Something about the profile in... Oh, the tree profile. Yes, the tree in Isadora's. Yes, got it. Okay. I hate to be left out. All right, Miss Teresa is now up. You're very welcome, Fatima. I hope it makes sense to you, my love. All right, Miss Teresa, you picked number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, here we go. I didn't sign you up for anything, Mark. No offense, but I did not hear myself saying, oh, Mark. I said we were maybe taking a field trip. I didn't say you. I said we, meaning me with everybody. So you will be along for the field trip. You just might not be a part of the field trip, per se. All right, for Miss Teresa, the hugger of the group. What is Teresa's thanks, honey. What is Teresa's inspired action plan? All right, card number 1 has come out. We have card number 2. And we have card number 3. Nice. Okay. Your alignment. This is the Sacred Medicine Oracle, and you have storytelling and connection. To me, this is communication. This is wisdom. This is, the voice of reason, the person that you go to for support, someone that has answers. So either you are that person to other people, like view you as that person in their life. And very much like how I feel here by what I do. This fulfills me. This empowers me. This aligns me, right? Having you all here, doing these chats, doing readings for you, having our conversations, watching you all love each other up and support each other and lift each other up and encourage each other. This aligns me. So very much in that same kind of vibe is where I am, that your connection to people, that wisdom that you have within that other people seek, is the thing that keeps you feeling like you're standing on a solid foundation, right? Your inspiration comes from the fall equinox, which is the buffalo end release. When we are that person, when we find ourselves to be in that position, very much like I was just saying to Fatima, sometimes we need to put boundaries up because we put ourselves second or fourth or 96th on the list because everybody else becomes or comes first, right? So sometimes we just need to wash that away. We need to stop the noise, stop the chaos, take a moment for ourselves. And where I'm going with this is that you feel your best when you can just sit in the backyard, put your feet up, drink a pink lemonade, and just be like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this is what Sundays were made for, kind of vibe. That's what I'm feeling. It doesn't have to be a big release. It's just a very simple release, right? It's just letting it go. So one of the exercises that pops into my mind is the one that I've talked about many times where we're ready to go to bed. We have a notepad or a journal beside us. And we write down all the things that we were worried about today. And we say, okay, that's it. I'm done. I've expanded or expelled all of the energy I'm going to in worrying about this. Tomorrow's a new day and I'm reclaiming my time. That's it. That's all. Like, it's not a big deal, but if we don't release it, it could be potentially really weighty on you. Okay. Now, your action plan. Your action is the sweetgrass braid and receptivity. So when you put all of these together, what it feels like is if you do that for yourself or you release it, you then become a channel that is more open to receive, right? More people will come forward. More people will seek advice. More people will seek that support, that wisdom, that love that only you can offer them. And we can't be open to it. We can't pick up on it. We can't look at that person and go, something's not right. I heard that in her voice. Something's not right. We can't be that for them unless we release. And unless we're aligned. Right? Does that make sense? That's awesome. By the way, if you look at this, if you look at her braid is her hair that just flows into this river. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. I don't know what these cats are doing over here. What are you guys doing? I don't know why, but that Charlotte wraps herself around the chair leg and does the whole back feet thing and just sort of like spins herself around. I don't know what that's about, but that's the noise that she was making. That's why I said, what's going on? Okay. Thank you, Greater. Thank you. Good night, Fatima. I'm sure I've missed her now, but thank you everyone for being here, for popping in, for saying hello. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, I don't know that I forgot about anybody. I don't think I did. I think I got everyone who I starred. Did anyone else want a reading before we end the stream? It's smoke break time is what it is. I just want to say in closing, like, I think that the inspired action, you know, if you look at it from that standpoint, like, I want to take inspired action to bring forward change, to bring about change, to even look at change, right? It sounds so much more positive, so much more inviting than it does to be like, I need to lose 20 pounds in 2 months or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Or I have to cut this out of my life. I cannot be this way anymore. I do not accept that anymore. There she is. See what she's doing there? She's a little weirdo. Look at her tail. You okay, Charlotte? Charlotte, you okay? You good? She's like, Mom, don't embarrass me. Are you okay, sweetheart? Yeah? You want to come say hi? Come on. Up. Up. Let's go. Come on, up. Up. Come on. Up. Good girl. Oh, and down we go. She's like, don't fool me, Mom. I know the camera's on. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, I just think it's a lovely way to look at it, a really positive way to look at making a change or a potential change or thinking about making a change, as opposed to, I have to do this. Do you know what I mean? So give it a shot. Really, I don't think I deserve the award, honey. I think you're the one that deserves the award. God help you. I mean, seriously. I don't know what I'd do without you. And I hope to God to never find out. I should add. Okay, so no one's saying anything, so I'm assuming that I got everybody who wanted a reading. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. It truly does mean the world to me to have you join, participate, show support to one another, and of course to me. It just makes me feel amazing, and this only works with both of us, right? So I love that, Gina. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. I love that. I don't know that that I like change, but there are certain changes that I don't mind, right? See now, Mary, that's why I was hanging on, because I might have missed yours, hon. I did not have you start, Mary, so I do apologize. What number did you want? And I will do that for you right now. What number did you want? 1 and 8. Let me know, darling. I'm so sorry. Listen, it's hard to talk and toss cards and read and click and chat and all that good stuff. Number 3. Gotcha. You want 3 and 8? I can do that. Give me one more number. One more number, Mary, and I'll pick one from each of those decks. Good. Gotcha. Good for you, Gina, for being that way. Like I'm thinking about like the upcoming clock change and like normally how people are when the clocks go back. And I mean, for like 2 weeks, we're like, do you know what time it really is? Well, it's the time on the clock. It's what time it really is. But we complain and we drag our butt and we go on and we lost this and we lost that and we did this and you know what I mean? Crazy. Okay, hon, I will, I don't know that I've seen it either, but I will go back and I will check it. Just bear with me. Look at this crazy cat. Charlotte, what are you doing? She's just like, seriously, can you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Just losing her ever loving mind down there. You okay? Or what? Hey? You alright? Are you alright? Welcome to the fun house, friends. Welcome to the fun house. Okay. So. Right? And that's the thing. See, you are showing us how to look at that in a positive way, but most people don't react that way. Most people are like, oh, you know what I mean? Okay. So, Mary, your alignment. Set limits with draining people. When people are depleting you, kindly set a limit, such as, I only have 10 minutes to listen now. Such self-care is respectful and empowering. So your alignment comes from a place of setting healthy boundaries for yourself where you don't give too much of yourself away, where you're feeling depleted, right? So if you keep yourself at an optimum level, that is when your alignment is providing that solid foundation for you. I don't know if you have a lot of people like pulling you or prodding you or like asking of you, or if you find yourself in a feeling or a position where you like just give, and not a whole lot of take. So this card is reminding you it's okay for you to take the time that you need to help you stand on a more solid footing. Okay. Your inspiration comes from forgiveness. Gorgeous card. Archangel Phanuel is urging you to let go of past grievances. I feel like that ties into that draining people. So if you have those people in your life that are just, like I said, right, that are like taking from you, where you're just constantly being asked to give your last bit of energy to them, the inspiration comes from, I don't want to feel like that anymore. I don't want to walk away feeling angry or upset or slightly ticked off even, or, oh gosh, here they come again. You know what I mean? You just don't want to feel that. You want to feel joy. You want to feel peace. You want to feel contentment, right? You want to feel of service to others, right? And the way that we can get past that, so that those little grievances, those feelings like, well, my feelings are hurt now, I don't like the way she looked at me, those things cannot be present. Those things will not be like the leftover or the result of whatever the time that you shared together was, if that makes sense. Your action. So if we can learn to do for ourselves as well as for others, is our alignment. Our inspiration is, when we do that, we create this solid foundation where we don't get our feelings hurt, where we're not feeling kind of sensitive, right? We're not going to walk into a room that feels bad to us, where the vibe is all like, ooh, I don't like that. You're going to say, you know what? I only have 10 minutes. I'm so sorry, right? You're going to protect yourself by doing that, by putting those boundaries up. And then the action is the cave and initiation. Now I'm going to say something that might sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not. In a way, this initiation is like your activation for the action, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, like, you've created these steps for yourself where you are not going to deplete your energy, where you're not going to be left feeling like, oh my God, like one by one, they just came and dumped all over me. And now I feel like that sack of crap, and they all feel elevated, like to the highest degree. I can't do that. I need to do something to pick myself up, you know? When we realize that it's okay for us to set healthy boundaries and healthy limits for ourselves, right? Then that initiation is activated, because all of a sudden you are empowered, right? You have the knowledge, the understanding, you have what it takes. You've got the skills, the tools, the whatever, the resources that you now know that you can say, no, it's a complete sentence and it's totally okay. Because it's not about them, it's about you, right? And in this scenario, you're number one. You are numero uno, right? If you're good, everyone else around you is good. It's not the other way around. I used to say that I was happy when everyone else around me was happy first. No. If I am happy, then everyone around me will be happy. That's the best way for me moving forward. But it took me a long time to figure that out, right? This feels similar to that. So we have to initiate this new way of continuing to provide this people-pleasing, way about yourself, and that is to by setting boundaries for yourself so that your energy doesn't get used up, tossed out. Hope that makes sense. Adult child growing pains. Mm-hmm. It is a real thing, because I'm the queen in my realm. I get you, my friend. I get you. Listen, oftentimes, I'm gonna share a story with you guys, okay? And I'm not saying names because it's not relevant. I had a sort of budding relationship with someone where I thought we were becoming, fairly good friends. And we shared a lot of things with each other. And one day I called this person up and I felt like they totally turned on me. And what I mean by that is they revealed who they really were. They spoke in such contrasting terms to what I was used to that I had to take notice. There was no way that I could sweep that under the rug, pretend that wasn't said, or ignore it. I had to do something, because I knew in that moment, not that moment was bad, but that if I allowed it to continue, it was going to get very messy, and I would be the one that would be a mess because of it. And I said that I was offended. I said that was rude. And I literally said, verbatim, I have to back up and put some boundaries up. It wasn't the easiest conversation that I've ever had, but it was a necessary conversation, and I do not regret it. Because in that moment, even though it might have felt messy and kind of icky, and kind of felt that way for a day or two, I stood my ground. I knew that I was doing the right thing for me. And I come out on the other side much better for it. It feels good to stand up for yourself. It feels good to empower yourself, to protect yourself, to love yourself. And in my eyes, that is a way of you loving yourself when you put boundaries up so that you are safe and protected, right? It's like your suit of armor, so to speak, or your super cape, if you will, right? Right? So in that same scenario that I'm talking about with those cards we just got for you, Mary. So let's say this is who I am. Lots of people come, lots of people talk to me, lots of people ask me for my advice or whatever. And I'm quite often like, how can I help? If I can help, let me know. That kind of idea. Now, if I had not have done that day and I had have walked away, I would have beaten myself up. I would have been spinning that hamster wheel around in my head like for days thinking, what did I do to make them be rude to me? Right? It must be me. I must be crazy. I must be this. I must have done something to... No. So when I said like we can't be looking back there and we need to release that, we need to forgive the past grievances, I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. I just don't want to feel that. I'm not doing that to myself. That was it. I made a deal with myself that was it. That was the bottom line. I'm not going any further into it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take a deep dive and try to figure out where it all went wrong. It was crystal clear to me in that moment what I needed to do. And what I needed to do, my action was my initiation of me standing up for myself. No, I'm putting boundaries up. See ya. Right? And it's, I mean, easier said than done. I get it. But you get the concept, right? Sometimes less is more. Like if you have an argument with someone, it's really hard to walk away, depending on who you are or, what the situation is. Sometimes it's really hard to walk away from that and not feel anything or not want to say something or do something. And sometimes we just need to walk away. We just need to walk away and not consider all of the things. Just make this better, because if I'm better, then I can see clearly. Do you know what I'm saying? It also works in that respect as well. So it's the end of my sermon. I'm getting off my soapbox now. Thank you, Joan. It is. It's like strength, right? It's like you put your super cape on to protect yourself because, listen, like life is tough. It's complicated. It's messy, right? And I don't want to be confrontational. I don't want to get into arguments with people. I don't want to tell people how I feel, despite what everyone might think. I don't like blasting my life out on the internet. But I have a reason why I do it. And sometimes because I do that, people feel like I have opened the gate to criticism because I have shared. Just because I said how I feel or what my experience is or that I have a mental health disorder or whatever you want to call it, does not mean that gives someone the right to, walk all over top of me or treat me some sort of way. Right? I know what is right. I know what is wrong. I know what makes me feel good. I know what doesn't. And in that moment, I was strong enough, thankfully, gratefully, that I said, nope, sorry, not buying what you are selling today. And respectfully said that to the person, right? I mean, they thought I was being cruel. I didn't think I was being cruel at all. I thought I was being honest, right? And that's the other thing. It's hard to be honest when you feel like it's going to hurt someone. It's difficult to do that. Thank you, Joan. I mean, that's why I do it, right? I mean, and I say this all the time, and I will continue to say it. I don't want to shout from the rooftops, "Ooh, look at me, I have anxiety panic disorder." I say it because I want anyone who has anything to feel like it's okay to say it out loud. It's not something that needs to be kept in the closet or hidden away or to be ashamed of. It does not define you as a person. It is like, I have brown hair. You know what I mean? I have freckles. Whatever. It is not a diagnosis. It is not a definition. It is a diagnosis. And that's it. That's all it is. But it doesn't define who you are or who those people are, right? And so I wanted to be a voice to let people know it was okay. It's okay. And that one day you will be okay again. And until that time, while you are in that transcending, transformative journey, when you're on that healing path towards finding your power and your strength and your joy, if you need a hug, if you need an ear, if you need some support, I'll be here. Because I felt like I didn't have anybody like that, right? No disrespect to my family, to my husband, because my husband and my sister were there for me every step of the way. But because I didn't have the right doctors, the right therapists, the right counselors, the right system in place, I waited so long before I was diagnosed, not because I didn't go to the doctors, but because I just waited so long. I mean, it was like one appointment that I was given was 9 months. 9 months after I went and said, I need help. Do you understand what I'm saying? 9 months. That's a long time to wait to find out what the heck is happening to you. So in the time when I was waiting for the professional help, I had to navigate that space with getting a whole lot of advice from a whole lot of very well-meaning, amazing, lovely people. But I was not in a position to hear because I was so entrapped in a state of fear. I literally felt like I was being held hostage, right? That is no one's fault. There's no blame there. That's just the facts. And in that moment, I could have used a friend. I could have used a support system. I could have used some wise words, maybe. I'm not saying that no one gave those to me. Some people offered those. And I tie this up in a pretty little bow by saying this. You guys have heard me a few times, I'm sure, say to you that I used to be triggered, like really triggered, by people that would say, it's a choice to be happy, or it's a choice to be positive, or you just need to relax. Honestly, I could do something that would have me in the headlines of the newspaper, honestly. Because my instant feedback, what I heard when those things were being said to me, is that somehow this was a choice that I made, that I wanted to be miserable and upset and scared and feeling like the rug had been pulled out from under me. Somehow that I brought this on myself. Yeah, no, that's not what happened. I wasn't in a place to understand or to take in the information that was being given, if it was being given to me, when it was being given to me, that I had the power to bring forward the change that I wanted, that I needed, that I had the power to control my choices and my decisions, my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions. Because of what was happening to me physically and mentally, because of the anxiety and having the panic attacks, so many every day, all the time, everywhere, I literally felt like I just wanted to be invisible. I totally adopted the what is happening to me sort of victim mentality kind of mindset. And I do not look back on that and hold any blame on myself, because in that moment, I mean, that's how it felt. That is how it felt. And so I wanted it, now that I'm, a long ways away from there, but still have quite a distance to go. I want to be someone that can be there for another person who might be in that spot. Not because they have anxiety necessarily, but just because, right? Anything. So until you get to the point where you recognize that you have the power to change this situation, this habit, this feeling, right? That you can bring about change and you can create your own positive, happy path or attitude towards the path that you're on. I'm going to do my small part and help as many people as want to come to me as I can, because I could have used that. And I don't want anyone to ever feel the way I felt. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, in a nutshell, even though that was a long nutshell, that's why I'm here. Or at least that's the reason I turned the camera on. Gina said, it's respectful, though. If the honesty hurts, at least you trusted yourself enough to say it. Whoops, I just lost that. And then enough to hear it. Yeah. It wasn't easy. Because I am a people, and I don't want to dwell on that. I'm just saying, because I am a people pleaser, and because I've always had the ideology that if everyone around me is happy, then I am happiest. That went against everything in me to use my voice and use my power and say how I felt, and not put someone else's feel, not be afraid that I was going to hurt their feelings, but be more fearful of my own feelings being hurt. Very few times in my life I have done that in the last 14 years. Prior to that, it wasn't really an issue. But in the last 14 years that I've had anxiety panic disorder, it's not been my go-to. So it did not feel good by any stretch in the moment, but afterwards it felt good, and I was proud of myself for sticking up for me, right? Also for knowing that it was time, knowing that I'd hit my level. That was also encouraging as well, because to me that's growth. To me, that is telling of where I am in my journey. That's healing, right? That I'm starting to get that respect back for myself, that I know myself, right? Yes, Isadora. Yeah, I say that often. Like, nowhere on me does it say, wipe your feet and come on in. No, doesn't. No. If that label is on me, I want to rip it off. Yeah. Yes, it is a long time, 100%. And you're welcome for sharing it, Mary. Absolutely. Well, the thing about that, Joan, is that's a really difficult like place to be in, right? And I've discussed this before, and I am in no way being disrespectful to my husband. I'm just being honest. You know, he would come home from work, and I had been sitting in my chair for 4 days. Meaning that every day he came home, I was in the exact same position, wearing the exact same clothes, with the same expression on my face. And just like the fear was just like screaming out of me. And he would be like, trying to be sweet and understanding and loving and honestly walking on eggshells because no one knew what I was going to do, how I was going to react. You just didn't know. Right? But every day he came in and he tried, right? I mean, when I think back on it now, I feel like a total ass, if I was being honest. But in that moment, there was no blame because I did not know what was happening to me, right? And I remember like this happening several times where he would come in, this is like the third or the fourth day of me, like just like that. And he would say like, how was your day? And I'd lose my mind. I was so rude and so disrespectful, belligerent. I mean, sometimes I would cry. Sometimes I would yell. Sometimes I would give some kind of like almost like a sinister snickle. You know what I mean? Like, how do you think my day was? Like my attitude sucked. It was awful. I understand the place that I was in. I get it. I do not blame myself. I blamed myself for a very long time. I don't blame myself anymore. I had to let that go, right? But it wasn't a good place, and it was scary, and it was out of control. And I think about some of the things that I used to do. Just to cope, just to get through a day, a 24-hour period, an 8-hour period, whatever. I remember one time this is like, a year and a half in, right? So for about a year, I wasn't diagnosed ish, right? A year-ish. I'd gone to the doctor, of course they just hand you a bunch of pills, go here. But there was no diagnosis. I was sent for 4 sessions to a grief counselor because it all started after my mother passed and my father was dying. So it was in between that moment when all that was happening. So, of course, everyone just went, oh, it's grief, right? You're not processing your grief. I was sent to 4 sessions with a counselor, therapist, whatever the designation was. I don't remember because I've seen them all. And they told me that I had anger management issues because I was angry that my mom died. And I'm like, I'm not like, I felt like the therapist in that moment going like, excuse me, I'm not sure if you are aware that anger is one of the stages of grief. Okay. Anyway, I went to the doctor and said, like, no, I'm not getting anything from this. I'm just paying money out of my pocket. I'm not getting anything from this. I had insurance that covered it, but this was in 14. I was paying $185 an hour for this woman to tell me that I was angry. I was like, geez, thank you. That's fabulous. So anyways, moving on from all of that. it's just, I just want to be here to be helpful to someone who is in the throes of that, right? And if we're specifically talking about the experience of grief, grief happens to us. We lose our job, our marriage ends, right? We break up with a spouse or a partner that we've been with long term. Our pet dies. Something happens to a family member, a friend. Grief comes in many, many, many forms, and everyone's journey is different. Everyone's journey and experience is individual, and no two people are going to react the same. But the one thing that is, I don't want to say the same, but I'll say more of a universal understanding is pain and hurt and upset, harboring those hurt feelings. That is common, right? We have all been hurt. We have all experienced pain, different levels, different degrees. Absolutely. We've all experienced it, a form of loss or hurt in some form or fashion. And so, because we have all experienced it right away, we have a commonality that, can bring us together, that allows us to be able to then, get to a place of understanding. Because I personally think that that's what it is. It's a place of understanding, right? In terms of trying to assist or support or to be there for someone. And on the other side of that, it's very difficult to support someone who is going through a tough time. It's really, really hard to do that, right? And not have it affect you in some form or fashion. It's really hard to do that. Yeah, that did not happen at all, Gina. You want to know when it did happen? This is crazy. So I went to, so because of my anxiety, my blood pressure was spiking. And so I had to go on blood pressure medication. And I ran out of my prescription, and we had moved from the city to this local area where I am now. And my doctor was back where I used to live, which was like 2+ hours one way away from us. I didn't have a doctor here yet, which, like that's like a work in progress. So anyways, I went to like a walk-in clinic about an hour away from me. And the place was closing up, but the doctor or the nurse, the receptionist, was kind enough to say like they would take me, because I said I just need my blood pressure meds. Like, it's not a big deal. Meaning you just have to take my blood pressure and then like write my script, right? And I remember that she put me in a room. You know how they take you and they put you in the room, and she went to close the door, and I said, can we not do that? Like, do not close the door and leave me in this locked little room, because I will freak out. Like, don't do that. Another fear that's been exposed that I didn't know that I had. So she left the door cracked open a bit, and the doctor came in, and I told him that I have high blood pressure. And he looked at me and he said, like, you're not old enough to have high blood pressure, sweetheart. And I'm like, I have anxiety panic disorder. And at that time I had depression. And he said, okay. And he said, and what brought that on, if you don't mind me asking? And I said, my mother passed, my father is dying. And he said, so, like, he just sort of sat back. And that was one of the first times in about a 2.5 to 3 year period that I actually felt like someone was actually listening to what I was saying. So sad when I think about that. I was so grateful to be in that place with that man and with that doctor. He was amazing. He just sat back in his chair and he was like, tell me about that. It was the end of the day, right? He was ready to go home. It was a Saturday. And he didn't care, right? He put me ahead of whatever else was important. He made me feel like I mattered. And like I said, for one of the first times in a long time, I felt like someone actually heard what the heck I said. So he said, what's going on? And I explained to him, and then he got a sheet of paper out and he said, he drew like 3 circles and then some lines, and he put some letters in it, and then he went through it, and he basically explained that the fear of letting go for me might come from a place of a fear of control. Like if I just had to sit and do whatever came at me, that would send me off, right? Whereas if I make a plan and it's my plan and everyone has to do what I say, then that is when I feel like I got this. And I didn't really understand it in the moment. I was more just impressed that he listened to me. When I walked away and I thought about it, I then went and found my own counselor here in this neighborhood where I live now, and asked them to take me on and help me with the specifics of based on what he had said. And that was great. That experience was amazing. And so the point that I'm trying to make is, the communication about how you feel needs to be met with the respect of you sharing how you feel with whomever you're talking to. I don't care if it's me or another person or a therapist, a doctor, your spouse, whatever. So you really have to intuit and listen to yourself, bringing back to the boundary thing before and the suit of armor and your super cape. You really have to trust yourself. And you see, friends, and I've said this before, and I don't know, and I'm not saying like y'all didn't catch it. I don't know that I even put 2 and 2 together. I did a journal reading about this probably a year and a bit ago. You guys know when I used to do the journal readings where I would share with you something that I'd written in my journal. And I was writing in my journal that since my mom and my dad were sick and then subsequently passed, I have been searching for, desperate for, getting that feeling back that I used to once have of that contentment in my life. And I would do 98 things at the same time with about 20% effort into all of them. Desperate to try to find the flippin' formula that made it just go, yes, now it's working. Like everything's back to the way that it used to be. I wasn't listening to myself. I wasn't hearing what I was saying. I wasn't hearing what other people were saying. As my grandmother likes to say, I was like a fart in a mitt, right? If you can imagine what a fart in a mitt would look like, it's kind of like a balloon losing its air where it goes all out. Like that's what I was like, because I was trying so hard to hold on to something that felt normal, that felt right, that felt good, positive, happy. Oh my God, I spent so much money. I did stupid things. Like I shopped and I paint everything in the house, like just trying to create like different feelings, different atmospheres, going places and doing things and like new experiences, just trying to change it somehow, right? The problem was I was doing all that externally. I wasn't doing that internally. And when I've come to the channel And when I did that journal reading, I have said in different moments, so in the journal reading and on the channel, I have said, when you all come here and you say to me, can I have a reading? This, that, and the other is happening. Can I have a reading? I feel that you are putting your trust and your faith in me and Spirit to provide you with the answers that you need. In order for you to do that, you have to trust me somewhat to ask that question in the first place. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. So if you can put your faith and your trust in me, because at some point you didn't know me, right? Then I have to do the same in kind. I have to put my faith and my trust in myself, and as well as my connection and Spirit, that I am going to be able to pull out what you need and give it to you. And during the course of this pulling cards and learning how to read cards and accepting that I was a reader and that I had a connection and all of those things, the beautiful underlying thing that has happened is that I've learned to trust myself again. So when I come here and I turn this camera on, I don't second guess myself. I'm not Crazy Kelly with anxiety, panic disorder, and depression. I am the reader. I am Dozen Cats Wellness Turo. And I just leave it on the table, right? What I mean by that is I leave it on my table. It's not me. This is happening without my knowledge or my control. I feel, you know what I mean? Like Spirit is guiding this, not me. And through that process, I've learned to trust myself again. I've learned to listen to myself. I've learned to feel that feeling of joy by being able to do that. And then you say, yes, that makes sense. Yes, I get it. Yes, I'm going to do that. Yes, I see that. Yes, that resonates. Whatever. Right? So in a way, when I sit down here, when I go to do these readings, when I do whatever on my channel, live or pre-recorded, I put my super cape on. And my super cape is that I'm going to just trust myself, right? I'm going to listen to my inner voice, my inner wisdom, my intuition, and let that be my guide. That was an unexpected gift that I did not see coming, nor did I realize I even was missing that until it kind of like walked up and hit me in the forehead. It was a wonderful, unexpected, like when you meet your old friend that you haven't seen in a long time, or you hear a song that takes you back to an amazing moment. That's what it makes me feel like. I just get like the warm and fuzzy feels all over. And now it's starting to spread out into the rest of my life. And that's just growth, friends. That's what that is. And it is amazing. If I could offer just a small piece of that to someone else when they're having a crap day or a crap month, or they find themselves in a horrible circumstance or situation, I want to be able to do that. Like I want to be able to do that. I don't want to ever not be able to do that. Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, it absolutely does help the nervous system. Absolutely is, Joan. 100%, it does. And that's something that you just said there, Isadora, that I have to be honest, like as I'm saying this, I never really thought about that before, because I've said like, who am I? Like, why me? Why not me? Right? And perhaps the reason that has happened is to help me realize that I'm not as far from myself as I thought that I was, right? And again, I don't know that you guys know this or that I've shared this, so forgive me. I'm not trying to be, mysterious when I say this, but there was many years where I kept saying to myself, I feel like a shadow of my old self, and I thought my old self was pretty awesome, so I wanted to get back to her. There was no room in my vision at that moment, or, well, for that period of time anyway, where I thought my future self could be just as good, if not better, than my, old beloved self. And so this journey with spirit, this time, spirit is helping me to learn to love myself again, to trust myself again, to hear myself again, to embrace myself again, all of those things, and to be grateful for the association and the connection that we have, meaning, me on the screen and the chat, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of. And even though it feels like it came out of nowhere and I don't fully understand it, I questioned for a long time, if for those of you that follow me, you know this, why me? I'm not really a reader. Like, it's just a coincidence. Like, I was all of those people, all of those things I was saying. And now I don't question. I'm just like, yeah, I'm a good reader. And I'm not doing that to be, with a big head or filled with ego. I'm doing that because I feel that that's how it is. I kind of dig that, Gina. That's kind of cool. You were just taking a break from being you and learning to allow yourself to just be. That's a cool way to look at it, for sure. Hi, Pooja. How are you, love? So anyway, suffice this to say, all of that to be said, that, when we put that super cape on, it's important, right? To trust yourself, to listen to yourself, to honor yourself, to empower yourself. Doesn't have to be like a big thing. Doesn't have to be like, you got the Medal of Honor kind of deal. It just, love yourself up because you deserve it. You know what I mean? And if you're not going to do it, no one else is certainly going to do it for you. So I'm doing really well. Thank you, my friend. I hope that you're doing well as too. Can't speak. I hope you're doing well too. Let all my ice melt into my pot meal. It's probably flatter than a pancake. I'm shaking up with my straw. All right, so friends, 1 hour and 59 minutes. Way longer than I intended to be here, but I thoroughly enjoy when we have these chats. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of my journey and a part of my life. I so appreciate your support. I don't know that I can articulate it well enough to truly express how grateful I am for the love. Truly. But it does. It means the world to me, and I thank you ever so much for it. I will be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern to do some chat and cards. And what happens next? Then next Monday, sorry, next Monday at 8 p.m., I'll be back with our third episode of Turning Over a New Leaf. And Ben will be back, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, so the 18th, for Tea Time with Kelly on the Tuesday. Or, sorry, on the Wednesday, I should say. So just make sure your notification bell is checked off, and then you shouldn't miss out. Right? Or just keep my channel on all the time so you never, ever, ever miss out. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I was thinking about something earlier and then I kind of lost track of it. And now I'm trying to remember what it was and it eludes me. Happens all the time. I don't remember what it was. Yes, empower and rise. All right, my friends, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a good evening. It's time to go nighty-night. We have to, Rosie has done something. We're not sure what she's done to herself. She has a problem with her paw. And so we have to keep our eye on that. And then we need to get her into the vet. So we called the vet this morning, and the vet's like the soonest they can get her in is Thursday. I'm like, great. Like, that not helpful. She's not in any pain at the moment, it seems. She is in a little bit of discomfort. And so, that's just concerning, of course, because we don't want her to be in any kind of discomfort. I'm not sure if she stepped on something. I'm not sure if she got bit. I don't know if she's, but something has happened where she is chewing, and she's chewed part of the pad off of her paw on one piece of her paw, and it's really red and it looks infected, and it's just a situation. So we've got little socks that we had purchased for her before. They're like little socks with treads, because she was, for whatever reason, not able to, or didn't feel safe walking on the hardwood floor. She would only walk on carpet. And so we bought her those too, because they have like little treads on the bottom of the socks to encourage her to walk on the floor so she felt safe. And so we've been keeping those on her so she can, have some protection, some comfort, and also so she doesn't kind of pick them apart and lick them and all of that stuff. So, and here's the thing, look it up on the internet, right? One thing says you can use Polysporin, the other one says don't use Polysporin. One says use apple cider vinegar, the other one says don't use apple cider vinegar. What are you supposed to do? What are you not supposed to do? Nobody really knows, right? So for now, we're just cleansing her paw as often as we can with just some mild soap and lukewarm water, really rinsing it, and then keeping those socks on her so she doesn't get any further debris or dirt. And she's not complaining, she's running around and doing what she needs to do. But I hope whatever it is that they get to the bottom of it. So we shall see. Fingers crossed. Good prayers for Rosie, please, and thank you. Hi, Kunjo. Thank you so much for popping in. We're actually just finishing. We've been here for over 2 hours, so I'm sorry, but we're just ending this stream. Feel free to come back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. I will be live and I can take your question then. So I will let you guys go. Have a great night. Thank you so much again for being here and for just, doing what you do. I will see you guys when I see you next. And until then, I wish you many, many blessings. Bye for now.